Sit back as we explore a mystery of victims here in our area that have fallen prone to loss of blood and bites on their neck. Could it be a vampire or an urban legend? Let's see if our team of investigators can find out the truth or end up anemic as well.
The planet Earth, center of the universe, full of life, but full of mystery. UFOs, Bigfoot, Loch Ness Monster, ghosts, the supernatural, all are investigated by the paranormal investigators. Team member number 1, Dr. Claude Clark, former director of the North American UFO Association, currently the leading spokesperson in the areas of UFOs, psychic phenomena, and exorcism. Team member number 2, Dr. Clyde Golden, has a doctorate degree in psychology and sociology from Harvard University, former director of the Clinic of the Unknown at Duke University, currently conducting research in astral projections and telepathy. And team member number 3, Professor Dave Henderson, professor of anthropology, now a writer, lecturer, and worldwide adventurer. Join the paranormal investigator team in Trail of the Vampire. This is Professor Dave Henderson. Our story begins in New Orleans, Louisiana, the city of jazz. A city known for its great mix of culture, history, and the occult. From the hundreds of antique shops on Royal Street to the food, music, and parties of Bourbon Street, New Orleans is known for its beautiful architecture, which dates back to the early 1800s. New Orleans is also mysterious and intriguing. Not only do the homes and buildings date back to the early part of America, but so do the beliefs and the customs. Voodoo still flourishes today on these streets. And here at the famous St. Louis Cemetery No. 1 is the grave of the famous voodoo queen Marie Laveau, who died in 1847. As you can see, worshippers still honor her by making offerings to her grave daily in the form of flowers and the good luck symbol scratched on her tomb, the symbol of an X. I had been working in New Orleans, researching and writing a book on haunted houses and other ghostly apparitions in the French Quarter. After a hard morning of research, I returned to my room for some rest. Professor Henderson? Tony, what's happening? Gosh almighty, you're the last person I expected to call me in New Orleans. Yeah, how's the wife and kids? Well, maybe someday I will too. Yeah, I'm down here researching a book on
famous haunted houses here in New Orleans. Been out at the famous St. Louis #1 cemetery all day. So anyway, what, well, yeah, that's right. Hey, what are you calling me for anyway? Yeah, I do know him. What, is there something wrong? You're kidding.
Little did I know at the time when I received the phone call that myself and my paranormal investigator team would delve into the most horrifying, terrifying adventure of our lives.
Tony, listen, that is strange. Uh-huh. Hey, listen, it's 12 o'clock right now, a little past 12. Don't worry, I'll be there probably by 5 o'clock. I'm going to swing over to the airport and fly back right away. I'd like to look into this if you don't mind. Yeah, about 5-6 hours I'm going to pick up my associates on the way. So we'll see you this evening. Bye.
As I flew my Piper Cub from the New Orleans airport, I thought about the bizarre telephone conversation with my old high school friend Tony. Tony told me a very disturbing story about his close friend Gabe Sabatini. Due to the nature of the story, I felt compelled to investigate. I phoned ahead, and my 2 associates that make up the paranormal investigator team were waiting for me upon my arrival in Dayton. I had also phoned ahead and briefly spoke to Mr. Sabatini, informing him of our pending arrival. I briefed both of my paranormal investigator colleagues on the few facts that I knew about the case as we drove to Sabatini's house. We arrived at the Sabatini house at 5:45 p.m. Sabatini was waiting to greet us at the door upon our arrival.
Hi, I'm Professor Dave Henderson with Paranormal Investigators.
Hi, I'm Gabe Sabatini. Come on in.
Nice to meet you.
As introductions were made, I observed Sabatini to be a kind, cordial man of about 40 who physically bore the signs of much stress, anxiety, and little sleep. He related his fantastic story to us.
Basically, my wife Ernestine and I were on vacation, and we toured all the hot spots in Europe. We went to Italy, England, Hungary, Transylvania, all the spots that all the tourists go to. And when we were going through Hungary, and then the next day in Transylvania, she was sick, and her health deteriorated quickly. She died 2 weeks ago.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Well, since then, I've been seeing her at night. And at first I thought it was just a dream. But then I realized clothes on, so it wasn't a dream. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Anyhow, the other night, I don't know if I can call it a dream, but I imagined that she bit me. And when I woke up, well, as you can see, it happened. When I woke up, she had snapped my arm in half. She had bit it. There were tooth marks on the bone, all the way through.
Like a matchstick.
Just like. And I need help. I don't know what to do. I've never dealt with this before.
Well, Mr. Sabatini, I know you're under quite a bit of stress, grief with your wife's death and that. Are you positive that you sighted her? These aren't dreams, delusions?
No, when I had my arm looked at, they took a cast of the arm, they took it and they matched it with her dental records. The bite marks that were on the bone matched identical with her dentist.
And what time does she usually appear? What time of night? Is it consistent time? Does it vary?
Whenever I close my eyes, it seems, and the room is dark, it seems like I see her.
And this started how many days after her death?
About 5.
Well, Gabe, what I'm curious is, has there been any signs of forced entry or anything? How could she get in?
No, but I don't normally lock the doors at night. I've never had any problem. But since I started seeing her, I did. And it hasn't made any difference. There's still the appearance.
Did you notice anything unusual about her appearance, what she looks like, the way she acts?
Well, she looks a little drawn. She's a little pale and just sad, lifeless look to her, and her teeth. Her teeth look like she has the fangs of a wolf or something. It scared me when I saw her, and that's what made me, when she came to me, I threw my arm up to protect her because it looked like she was trying to bite my throat or
So
something.
she was coming after you to try to hurt you, to harm you.
I can't imagine that. We were man and wife. How could it be?
Well, Mr. Sabatini, as you know, here at Paranormal Investigators, we research unusual phenomena. Your case seems very interesting.
On one hand, it could be having horrible dreams and delusions due to your wife's death. But on the other hand, I don't know. You have physical injury that obviously occurred to you.
You were recently in Eastern Europe, which has a mystique about that, some very old culture and tradition and vampirism, since you mentioned your wife died of anemia. If it would be all right, we brought much test equipment with us today. We would like to set up here in your home tonight. And you go to bed as usual, and we'll be here with our equipment, and we'd just like to monitor the situation. If something unusual would occur, we'll be here to film it and have some hard evidence and evaluate the situation.
It'd be great with me if it would help me to end this misery.
The paranormal team spent the evening setting up various cameras, infrared sensors, and other sensitive electronic equipment that was standard practice for investigating haunted houses. By nightfall, all equipment was in place and operating efficiently.
Alrighty, gang. Looks like everything is set up and functional. It looks like if anything's coming tonight, we'll certainly be able to get a reading on it.
Well, it's been a long day. If you're not going to need me anymore, I'm going to just lay down for an hour or so.
That's
Is that
quite all right,
okay?
Mr. 17.
Okay. Make yourself at home and raid the refrigerator if you get hungry.
Now, you will be safe in here. We have the infrared wiring cameras set up on this window. She cannot get in without us detecting it. We have it hooked to our monitors out front, so don't worry about a thing. Just try to relax, get a couple hours shut eye.
Well, I'll just, time you need me, just come get me, but I'm just gonna,
Okay.
I'll be all right. I'm gonna lay down here with Mr. Fluff.
Go and see what kind of readings we're getting.
Equipment seems like it's working fine. Is Sabatini in bed?
Yeah, he's resting well.
Poor guy's exhausted.
Well, Doctor, what do you make of this case? Does it sound like a possible, simple haunting, a ghost?
I don't know. With his arm being broke, snapped like a match. I really don't know. I think it could be something more than just a ghost. Maybe a deranged killer.
We'll just have to wait and see. All the windows are secured, the doors.
We did a background check on Sabatini prior to coming over here, and nothing in his history shows any case of mental illness or anything that is illogical.
No, I believe he's telling us honestly what he thinks has happened. I believe he's being honest.
Could you imagine your own wife coming back and attacking you from the dead?
Well, we've seen cases like this before in our
That's right.
paranormal research. One thing that stands out though that's very intriguing. Remember several years ago when we went to Europe and encountered that case of vampirism? We thought it ended there. We've had no reports of any type of vampirism outbreak in the United States, and certainly it'd be very, very rare if something like that would occur. But look at his wife. They were in Europe.
Yeah.
They were in the same area where we were 3 years ago. She died of anemia, which is what?
Low
blood.
count.
And now, hey, rising back from the grave.
Okay, so we're not only going to have to keep an eye out for his wife, but since he's been bitten, we're going to have to keep an eye out on him.
That could be true, however, he's not yet the undead.
Yeah, in past cases, the person would have to die before they came back as a vampire. Not only just be bit, but have to die. So as long as he's alive, I believe we'll be safe in here.
Well, not necessarily, Claude, because if he was bitten once, and if this is a case of vampirism, there's no doubt that she will be back to feed again. Therefore, we may not have a simple case of looking for ghosts tonight, but we may need to protect ourselves in other ways.
Yep.
So we need to protect ourselves from vampires.
You never know. We've run into some strange phenomena in our years of research. But for the time being, we've got our monitors set up. We'll be able to find out if anyone is going to try to break into this house or is on the outside of the house. So let's just sit back and take it easy and watch the monitors.
Ernestine? Ernestine? Is that you? Ernestine, are you real? Are you here? Is it you, Ernestine? Ernestine, is it you? Is it you?
Doctor. Doctor.
What?
Come here. Wake up. Look at this.
Wow, this house is going.
I know, I checked everything.
Which location is that? Outside the bedroom.
It's outside the bedroom window.
Let's check it out.
Go.
Claude, let's go. We got something on the scanner. Let's go.
Ernestine? Are you dead? Or are you real? Are you here? I can't tell. I don't know. What do you
you want to hurt me, or do you still love me, or what? I don't know. I'm so confused, and I don't miss you so much. Oh, Ernestine.
Mr. Sabatini, what is it? What is it?
It's Ernestine. She's here.
Where?
She's
Where?
there, right in front of you. Look.
I don't see anyone.
Mr. Fluffy sees her.
Sabatini, what did you see?
It was Ernestine. She was here. She was at the window.
There's nothing here now, but our sensors did pick up the
She
print.
was there, I tell you. She was there. It was her.
Can you describe her? Did she differ any? Did she look different than what time before?
It was her, but she just looked pale. And those teeth. Oh, those teeth.
Did she say anything? Did she talk?
No, she was just there.
I'm gonna go check the equipment again.
Okay, there's nothing here now.
I'll go check outside. I'm getting nothing now.
Claude's going to be checking us outside anyway, so we'll find out in a second.
Windows.
There's nothing outside. No footprints, nothing.
We're not getting anything on any of the windows or doors.
I bet he was just having another nightmare.
Couldn't have been. Unless the equipment's
Well, that's true. We did get an image on the screen.
from his window.
Could indicate the ghost we were talking about.
Still nothing.
Well, we have to get these units working. I suggest we go outside and check the wiring, make sure it wasn't an error.
Let's go.
Maybe one of them came unattached or something. Claude, tell Sabatini where we're going.
Hey, Gabe, we'll be right back. We're going outside. Sit tight. He'll be okay in there. We'll just be outside. Ernestine, it's you.
Darling, come join me in eternity. We are the undead.
Oh, no!
Gabe, watch out! Get her off!
Oh my God! She's dead, but she's alive! Oh my God, she's a vampire! No! Shoot her! Shoot her!
Forget the gun, it's worthless. Get the stakes and the crosses out of the bag.
Where's she?
Get her.
Don't! No, Ernestine! No, Ernestine! Don't! Ernestine, it can't be you! It can't be you! It looks like you, but it must be the devil! It must be the devil! Oh.
Ernestine. What happened to you? What happened to you? I believe it's her. I can't believe it's you. Not you, Ernestine. It can't be you.
It's not her, Gabe. She is dead. She's one of the undead now. We must stake her and bring her peace.
And kill her?
And you must do it.
I don't know if I can.
Not so close, Clyde.
Oh, no.
Give it.
No. Don't make me do it, Ernestine. Don't make me do it. Don't make me do it, Ernestine. No. I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I can do it, Professor.
Take this.
Great. Just Ernestine. No. Don't make me do it, Ernestine. Oh. Ernestine, no, don't make me do it. Don't make me. Oh. Oh my God, what have I done?
You've done it, Gabe. She's dead. She'll be at peace. She's at rest. Claude, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Gabe, how are you? Are you okay?
No, I don't think I'll be okay again.
Had to be done, old buddy.
I know, but it's the hardest thing I've ever done or will ever have to do.
But bear in mind, what you done, it had to be done. She's now at peace. She will not go and bite anyone else to become an undead. It's over.
I hope so.
But our job's not.
How prophetic those words were that my colleague spoke as we drove back to our offices. Dr. Clark had a strong fear that the Sabatinis may not be the only ones exposed to the vampirism on their trip to Europe. Therefore, we contacted the travel agency that the Sabatinis used, and we discovered a young, single college girl named Carol Thorndike was a member of that group. We learned that Carol Thorndike lived in a small town of Cambridge, only 30 miles from our offices. We telephoned to speak to her concerning our suspicions, and were informed by one of her roommates that she was too ill to come to the phone. Dr. Golden's sixth sense told us that something was amiss, so after napping briefly that afternoon, we set out for Cambridge. We arrived at Cambridge just as the sun was setting the evening after the terror that took place at the home of Gabe Sabatini. But as we parked and began walking to the Thorndike house, the horror had already begun.
Oh, it was so much fun going to the party tonight, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, that was okay. I hope there'd be more people there.
But the cutest guy. I was in love.
Carol, are you sure you're feeling okay?
Oh. Can't see the awfully white.
Oh. Should we get a doctor, Carol?
Oh, I'm fine. It's a family routine vacation. We went on a date. M&M.
She deserves it, fat pig.
That's right. I told her to start dieting. Oh my God! What should we do?
I don't know. Look at her feet. There's water.
Carol, call 911!
Where's the phone?
She's not breathing! No. Oh my gosh, I think she's dead.
I'll just call an ambulance. She never has anything but trouble.
Oh gosh. Oh, what should I do? Oh, God. Sandy, did you call the paramedics yet? They're on the way.
Joe.
Hi, is Carol home?
I have some horrible news. Carol's dead.
What? Can I see the body?
Sure, she's downstairs.
so young and so pretty. What am I going to do now?
Joe, you get over it. She's lived a very happy life.
Girls, can I be alone, please?
Let's look down here. Follow me.
Be careful. Careful now, she could be anywhere in the shadows.
Get the light over there, will you? Somewhere. Here, let's go. We'll look over here. Dave, look out behind you. Oh! Hey. Stake her, Doc. Get her.
After returning to the offices of the paranormal investigators, I thought deeply about the two death-defying encounters with the vampires of the past 2 nights. I decided to call an expert that I knew in the area of vampirism. Hi, Jim. This is Dave Henderson. Hi, how are you? How's Texas?
Hi, Dave. Just great. The University of Texas has been great to me. I've had a free rein in devoting my time and effort into my teaching, research, and writing. I've had some favorable success recently by the media in terms of my research findings and theories in ancient folklore and demonology in Eastern and Central Europe.
Jim, you're so darn modest. You know,
That recent Nobel Prize hasn't hurt your image or influence with the media at all. Hey, listen, the reason I was calling, I've got a serious situation here I'd like to share with you. This case that both myself and my trio of investigators have been working on, we've got a serious problem here. This case is a horrifying epidemic that could spread throughout the whole world and infest all of mankind. Yeah, you found traces of this despicable disease a decade ago when you were researching the old archives with your work there in Middle Europe and Eastern Europe. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, what you always had considered folklore and superstition, well, I hate to say this, but yeah, it's become a reality.
You mean?
Yes, I'm afraid so.
Oh, God, no! Vampirism? Oh, Mother in Heaven, it can't be true! Ah!
Yeah, Jim, I'm afraid it's true. Here's what's taken place so far. I informed Jim of both occurrences of the vampires at the Sabatini residence and the Thorndike residence. I explained about their vacation in Europe, and in particular Transylvania, where the alleged vampire attacks originally occurred. Well, Jim, that brings you up to date. Hey, where do we go from here? You're the expert.
You must get to the source of this evil and stop it from spreading. I'm talking about the king vampire. You must go to Europe at once.
Taking the advice of Jim, the paranormal investigator team packed for Europe. But first, I seek material on Transylvania, gathering all the guidebooks and survey maps that I could find about Eastern Europe. I also explored the folk tales concerning Dracula and vampires. Throughout the history of Europe, vampirism was more than just folklore. Stories of the Blood Countess, as well as Vlad the Impaler, who killed over 300,000 Romanians, dominated the history of Transylvania. We discovered an old map of Transylvania. We determined that the Sabatinis and Carol Thorndike stayed overnight during their vacation at the town of Poneri, next to the ruins of Castle Dracula. We now knew what had to be done. The paranormal investigator team was ready. We left immediately for Europe.
How much farther?
I'd say about another 5-6 miles.
We gotta hurry up and get there, because it's gonna be sundown in about 3 hours.
Well, we better get moving.
Oh, let's go. I don't like this.
Yeah, I see the old sun right there. Going down.
Colder than a wood chip.
Yeah.
I never really knew how cold it was.
We trekked for hours across the Transylvania countryside through a blinding snowstorm and 5 degrees above zero weather. Our map indicated that Castle Dracula was only a half mile ahead to the east. We pushed onward. One hour before nightfall, we arrived at our goal. Before us laid the ruins of Castle Dracula. is it. Dracula's castle. You know what we've got to do. It's been years since we've searched to find where he's been staying. We must do this for the good of mankind.
How are we going to get in, Chief? He sealed the only entrance.
I don't know. There's got to be a way.
Maybe there's a window.
Here it is.
We can climb through,
Can we get in there?
and you know what we have to do.
We have
gotta
to get
hurry.
in.
We've got to hurry. The sun will be down here within the hour.
We got to stay.
You know the mission before us.
I'm kind of nervous, Chief.
Let's go. We'll try this window.
All right, Chief.
Careful.
I got it. I'll signal you guys to follow. We're in the corridor. Come on down. The coast is clear. It's warmer in here than that darn blizzard out here. Remember the plans?
Yeah.
The castle that we memorized when we got here. This corridor should lead down 75 feet, branching off to the right and left side of the rooms. I believe the fourth room on the left then will lead into the main dining area. Okay. Let's go. Be careful.
We'll follow you if you want to light. Give me your light.
Still don't like this, Chief.
Let's go.
In that direction. Sure is dark in this castle, isn't it? Can't even tell if it's daylight outside or not.
Just wonder if we have enough time. Can't even tell anymore.
You're right. It may be too late already. Let's prepare for what we must do. Look up ahead. There's the passageway into the study. And according to the plans that we procured from the Burgomeister several months ago, yeah, there's a stairwell, and that should lead upstairs.
Are you sure those plans are accurate? I mean, they're over 100 years old.
That's all we have to go by. As you know, this castle was built back in medieval times. We have to trust those. We have no other choice. Let's head for the stairway and head upstairs. Allegedly, Dracula's coffin resides up those stairs. Got your weapons?
Yes.
Be careful. There may be other vampires in the castle. Okay, let's go up the stairs. Be careful. There's the object of our search, Dracula's coffin. Let's go. Be careful. Let's flank him on all sides.
Get up, come on.
We returned to the United States battered and bruised, but we felt good knowing the epidemic of the vampirism had been laid to rest. However, the paranormal investigator team of Dr. Claude Clark, Dr. Clyde Golden, and me, Professor Dave Henderson, will return again in the future to combat the unknown and the mysterious. We'll see you in our next adventure.
I thought it was just a dream, but then I realized, I'm sorry, I realized she had clothes on, so it wasn't a dream. So, I'm sorry.
Series, and that's particular on ancient ancient folklore. Dave, I can't read your writing. Oh God, no! Vampirism! Oh, Mother in Heaven, it can't be true.
So young and so pretty.
Hope you enjoyed our movie offering today. Some of the classic Moraine Playhouse theater shows, where we show you both the best and the worst in amateur motion picture making. This is the Creepier. I bid you adieu till next time.